Let's hang out afterwards, by the way. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Tarot for Kindness. I'm Madame Pamita, and I'm joined by the fabulous Love Witch, the Queen of Coney Island. That's what I'm going to call you.
Thank you.
The fortune-telling Queen of Coney Island.
I think Queen of Coney Island is technically taken, but fortune-telling queen is all
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, that's for sure. So Love Witch is in New York. I'm in LA, and the Love Witch is doing readings over at Coney Island now. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. And if you want to read a reading, where's the website that they can go to get a reading this summer in Coney Island? Oh my God.
It's ConeyIslandTarotReadings.com,
Oh,
or you can scan this QR code.
oh my gosh, look at that. You're all ready to go. Well, I've just been
Um,
obsessed with this. And, because I love an amusement park. Let's just right off the bat, I love an amusement park. And I went to Coney Island in 2018 and with Manfred. Manfred and I went, and we had the best time. And it's so charming because I love old timey things and old timey little amusement parks. And so we had the absolute best time over there. So you guys can get a reading with the Love Witch if you're in New York or visiting New York. Check it out and get a reading in person with the Love Witch at Coney Island. And you can do that by booking at that site.
yeah, I'm so excited
Coney
about it.
Island fortune teller. What is it? Coney Island
ConeyIslandTarotReadings.com.
Tarot Readings.com. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
We have so what we're doing here is we're doing tarot readings live on the air with your questions. It's $10 per card, no minimum. You can have a 1-card reading if you want a 1-card reading. There's no maximum. If you want a 100-card reading and send us $1,000, that would be awesome. And I will not say no. I will do a 100-card reading. I'll bring out 2 decks to do it. So any amount of money, $10 on up, you can get a reading. So 10, 20, 30, 40, depending on how many cards you want. You can make your donation through PayPal or through Venmo, or if you are on YouTube here, there's a thing called Super Chat. That's the thing that got me in trouble with my website. Pay your money on Super Chat by going to the link below that looks like a little dollar bill. And if you click on that, you can make a donation there. Whether you make your donation on Venmo or PayPal or Super Chat, then you need to go into the chat on whatever site you are on, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, and go into that chat and then tell us your name, or I guess we'll see your name, but you could tell us your name. If you have a different name for your account and you want to tell us your real name, that's fine. But what we really need to know is how much you donated, where you donated, and what your question is. So for example, I donated $30 on Venmo, and my question is, what does my week ahead look like, right? So you can ask any question. It can be about love. It can be about career. It can be about any aspect of your life, and we will do a reading. I will be doing tarot card readings, and the deck I'm using is, I love to kind of do a tightrope walk with a deck that I've never used before, because I have dozens of decks that aren't even open. That's what a crazy deck collector I am. I always go to my favorites, right? But today we're going to be doing the Wonderland Tarot. So we'll be doing something a little fun. Like, I love Alice in Wonderland. That was my very favorite book when I was a kid. Alice in Wonderland was was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you not tell?
Oh my gosh. Can you not tell? For me too. But anyway, so I will have some other insights, I think, on these cards. We'll see. I've never used this deck before. We're going to kind of see how it goes. But I always do a good reading, even when I'm tightrope walking with a new deck. I think I do. I think it's sometimes really fun to do that because you get new insights and hits and things like that when you're not looking at the same old images, And as a bonus, you will get, drum roll,
I'm going to pull an oracle card for you.
Oracle card. An additional oracle card. Yeah.
I'm using this wonderful Posis oracle deck. I made someone cry with it this week, so it seems like a good thing to pull out. And a happy cry, really good cry. But yeah, I love this deck. There's also poetry associated with every single card. So if you look it up online, you can view all the different poems and images. It's a really cool deck. They just came out with a book too that I think has all the poetry and more images. So definitely
Oh my
check that out.
gosh. What's it
Yeah, I'll,
called?
Poesis, like Poesis.
Oh,
Hmm.
Poesis.
Yeah,
Huh,
I'm gonna
that's
I'm putting a link
awesome.
to it in the chat if anybody is
Okay.
interested.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, if you'd like to make a donation, you can do so on Venmo. And if you want to know what you're donating to, you are donating to Tarot for Kindness. We partner with Suboten Harbor. Yulia from Suboten Harbor may make an appearance today, or I mean, she may make an appearance. Who knows? She doesn't speak any much English. I don't speak much Ukrainian. Well, I could talk about food all day long in Ukrainian. That's what we're talking about here. So we'll see if she shows up.
We're
But
talking
regardless,
about food here, actually.
we can talk about food in English, man.
Groceries are
So,
food.
so anyway, so what we're doing is the Suboten Harbor is our partner organization. They are a grassroots organization. They buy groceries for seniors in Ukraine. $40 buys 2 weeks worth of groceries for a senior who is disabled. They're in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. They can't get out. They can't get, to the grocery store. They have tiny pensions and are disabled. It's really like this is like life-saving work. So if you want to support Ukraine in a really great humanitarian way and help a stranger, oh my gosh, there's something very magical, like that do random acts of kindness. This is like a random act of kindness where you can do something for someone that you may never meet. They will never truly know. It's not like you handed them the groceries. They will not know that you did it, but you did it. And if you're a curious person like I am and want to see those seniors that you're helping, you can go over to Yulia's Facebook page and friend her, and then she will thank you when you make a donation. I always list the donations, and then she thanks the people individually if she is friends with them. So you want to be friends with her so that she can credit you in the donations, or you can just look and see who you helped. If you're following her, she'll be posting those pictures. Now, right now in Ukraine, it's like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. It's super early in the morning. It's really crazy early, but that money is going to get donated in an hour or so. And she's going to go use that money to buy those groceries for today. Today is Monday in Ukraine. So if you want to help and see the result, you can see the result. She posts it later on in the day or the next day, and you can actually see the groceries and the people that you helped. It's just such a beautiful, direct way. So this is something I'm so passionate about. I love volunteering for charities and doing things and making donations. But one of the things about making a donation is like you send money and then you're like, you don't know where it actually goes, right? Is it going to advertising, or is it going to, pay for the CEO's pension or what? But with this, we know exactly where it's going. You can see these seniors and you can see exactly who you helped. It's like that thing. Oh my gosh. When I was a kid, I was so into like those things where you adopt a person or you adopt something, an animal, and you would make your donation and you would write letters. I remember like I had a pen pal, I don't remember where exactly, of this kid. I was a kid and they were a kid, but I was making donations and I would write letters and they would write letters back. So it was very sweet to have that connection, that human connection at a distance. So this is a way that you can, really see who you're helping and really feel your impact and feel that sense of making a difference. So not only that, it's not like we're just asking you to donate. You get a tarot reading, an awesome tarot reading, and an oracle reading to boot. So if you want to make a
Mhm.
donation, you're going to get a great reading. I mean, you could do it selfishly. You may not even care if they get fed. You're still getting a great reading. So I will take money from people who are compassionate and caring and people who just want a good reading. Either one will work because it all
Helps
goes
either
to
way.
end up helping these seniors who need that help.
I'm thinking about those people you can adopt, and I knew you were going to say that before you said it, because they used to have the most brilliant like TV advertising campaigns. And as I'm thinking about that, I'm like, yeah, they probably spent millions of dollars of donations running those ad campaigns. So yeah, like you were a pen pal for that person, but how much of your money actually even made it to them?
Exactly. I just found out something that I was involved in even recently. There's a thing called Kiva. Kiva is this thing where you can donate, you can do microloans to people that are entrepreneurs in countries that are economically disadvantaged, right? So
Mhm.
people that are struggling and entrepreneurs are like, I want to, plant something. I need money for this. So they would apply for a loan. Well, you would send money for that loan, and they had like a little thermometer telling how close they were to their loan. But then I found out that those money wasn't even going to those people. They would gather the money and then they would distribute it to like everyone or something. It was weird. So I was like, oh, that's so disappointing because you really feel like you're helping that individual, right? And you're not. But this is actually that thing that we all desire to do, which is to help another person far away. And this is grassroots. I don't have any overhead. I don't take any cut of this. Not, in fact, not only do I not take a cut, you know how whenever you pay on Venmo or PayPal or Super Chat, they take a cut, right? I put that money back in. So if you donate $10, really I'm only getting about 9.50 or something like that. I donate that extra 50 cents in to make it $10 that they get $10. So um it's quite the opposite. I'm getting the opposite of a cut. I always throw money in, extra money in of my own anyway, but I want you to know that when you make a donation, that $10 is directly going to buy groceries to get these groceries to those seniors. And there's no overhead, nothing like that that's happening. So it's a really, just a wonderful way to be of service to people, elderly people in Ukraine, seniors in Ukraine, who are really struggling during this wartime. What a time, like to be, looking at the end of your life and to be, in the suffering. Ugh, it's awful. So we can alleviate some of that suffering by bringing them food. Sometimes when Yulia and the team, they go to the houses, the people have not a crumb in the house. Nothing in the house. Like this food is life-saving and makes a total difference. The people who get the food often will, give a little testimonial. And some of these testimonials are heartbreaking. This one woman got her money stolen by some people who broke into her house, really weaseled their way into her house. And they took her money and she had no money to buy groceries or have anything. And then they came with the groceries and she said, this is like the answer to my prayers because I didn't know what I was going to do. It's like unbelievable. So anyway, if you'd like to make a donation, you'll get a reading, $10 per card. So $10 gets you one card reading, $20 a two card reading, $30 a three card reading, and so on. So yeah. All right, Leslie. Looks like Leslie's here. Thank you so much, Leslie. Oh
Thank
my
you,
gosh.
Leslie. Leslie
Leslie
just means a
donated
general
40
reading.
does 40 has donated $40. You're helping feed a senior for 2 weeks. This is so awesome. So awesome. A general reading. Thank you so much, Leslie. All right, so I'm using the Wonderland Tarot. Oh, cards are already jumping around. That means they want to talk. I'm using the Wonderland Tarot, and the Love Witch is using the Poesis. Poesis? Poesis. Poesis. Deck. That deck sounds amazing. What a brilliant idea to have poetry. Like I think of Hafez, the Persian poet, and how they use
Mm.
his books as bibliomancy for doing divinations in Persian New Year
Oh wow,
and
how cool.
Persian, yeah,
Yeah, it's
Persian.
a really fun deck, and it's really every card is just like one word, and a very simple image. So I feel for me it is great for my like opening up my intuition, and just really relying on what I'm getting in that moment. So I've never really read a card the same way twice with this deck, and I love that so much.
That would be a fun deck to read for yourself on your own because of you could just read the poem to yourself and then
Yeah.
interpret that meaning. Kind of love that. Kind of love that. All right, so let's see. We're gonna do a reading here. Okay. Let me give it one more shuffle. We'll do our general reading. What do we see for the week, or just general? What do we see up ahead for Leslie? What's going on? What do we see up ahead? Okay. Oh, I'm loving these images already. Oh, it's cool. Okay. So I need to just make sure. I think that's the suits. I'm not quite. Yes, okay, that's that. I'm looking at the suits. Flamingos are swords. Pepper pots are wands. Hats are cups and oysters are pentacles. Okay, that's all I needed to know because I got an ace of oysters. Well,
Incredible.
this is ace of pentacles, right? So, the oyster I mean, like if you think about an oysters are really interesting in general. They're like filter things. They clean the ocean. They filter things, right? We also think of oysters, like most people think of like, oh, that's a very fancy meal where you had some raw oysters to indulge in your appetizer, right? This is a very elegant thing. So when we think about pentacles and that material world, I think about the oysters. And they talk about in Alice in Wonderland, they talk about the oysters and eating the oysters, right? So they definitely are thinking about oysters in this way, not as the living creature, but as this food that can be eaten. Although they are little creatures that are eaten in the story too. I'm thinking about that. But anyway, so Ace of Pentacles, I mean, as we look at this Ace of Oysters, Ace of Pentacles, this represents a new opportunity coming into your hands. We were just talking about job, Leslie. This can be a new job opportunity. It could be a promotion. It could be looking for a new job or getting given a new job, but it definitely pays off monetarily. So it's a job that pays more or a promotion that pays more. So I feel like that's like in the energy of the air coming up. As we were talking about in the Live Magic Q&A tea party that takes place right before this. We were talking about job magic and things that we could do in the job, and Leslie was asking questions about that. So when I look at this, I think of whenever I see this card, it feels like this offering, this gift that's being given. I'm offering this, and you're taking it into your hand, and that's the other aspect of it. So I feel like there's going to be something presented to you that offers some good financial abundance, and it could be a new job or a new position of some kind. We also have these lilies and roses in the background. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So lilies and roses mean spiritual and material. Lilies represent like the spiritual, right? Like high thought. You think about like Easter lilies are very spiritual, right? This is like a spiritual flower. And this is about, and that fragrance of the lily and how that like elevates you. So this is a very divine energy. Roses, on the other hand, are very sensual. So they're very earthy in that sense. We could think of the rose, of course, as a spiritual plant, but really the rose represents that idea of the sensual and the passionate. That's why roses are love flowers. But love, not a spiritual love, but a real romantic relationship, right? So we think of roses as being that sensual component. So when I see these two elements being added to this Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Oysters, I think of this idea that, this is something that you can work on spiritually. It's going to be spiritually fulfilling. And B, you also work on it in the real world, in the sensual material world. You can work on it there. But I would bring in some element if you are thinking about this new job or thinking about this new promotion or this new opportunity or this money coming in. This would be a great spell to do. I mean, great thing to do for this would to be do a spell for money. Do a pure money spell, whether it's wearing, we were talking about wearing oils to work. You wear a money oil to work, right? Wear money magnet oil, wear abundant prosperity oil, wear those money oils to work to attract that money, because this gives us that guidance that money can land in your hands. The second card is Justice card.
Oh, how cute.
I don't even know who that is. It's not Tweedledum or Tweedledee. It's somebody else. I don't know who that is. Do you recognize him? I don't remember
Yeah.
him from the books. Anyway, Justice card represents, it's interesting, he's upside down like the hanged man. He's balancing, and he's got, if you can see on his feet, he's got the scales on his feet, right? So brings up some interesting things. I even think this really reflects the Justice card more than the traditional Justice card. The reason I say that is that when we have that Justice card, yes, it can mean a court case or this or that and the other, legal things, signing contracts, all that kind of stuff. But the Justice card, in its essence, is more about karmic justice. Karmic justice meaning what you put out there comes back to you, right? So, what are you putting, like, be the change in the world that you want to see, right? If you want more prosperity, then be in that space of feeling prosperous. If you want more love, then express more love in the world. If you want more generosity, then be generous. So, I think of this idea that what we put out there, we get back. So, Leslie, this is a great message for you about like what to like take a beat to think about what you're putting out there in some way, and what would you like more of, and then think, how can I do that more in the world, right? So if you like, I think an example of that, not your example, Leslie, but an example in general, is like people will say, like, I want to attract a real, genuine love into my life. I'm single right now. I'd really like to have love in my life. And I say, well, let's start first with self love. Give yourself the love first. Then start showing love to other people, not romantic love to strangers. You don't have to do that. What I mean is like smile at a stranger, be kind to someone, be the thing that you would like to have people be to you. And that absolutely works magically. It really, really does. So I would say to you, think about what it is that you want more of, and then be more of that in the world, and you will get that to come back to you. This is like a wonderful, wonderful message. So really, really good message. This is also about balance. This card is about balance. He's balancing on his head. He's balancing these scales on his feet. And so balance represents this idea of like creating balance in your life. Where is the balance? Is there a need for more work-life balance? Is there a need for more balance of give and take, with certain people in your life? So look to bring more balance into your life over the coming weeks and months, and really think about what it is that you want to bring into your life, and then be more of that, right? Third card is the Three of Oysters, which is the Three of Pentacles. Oh, affirmation. I literally just got the job we talked about, and I had to go into the office for a client meeting this last week. I will use the oils before I start work daily. Wonderful. Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. I work with appeals. These cards are spot on. Oh my gosh, amazing. All right. So Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is about harmony with others. When we think about Three of Pentacles, it shows in the traditional deck three people working together, a stonemason and an architect and a monk, all working together to create this beautiful arch in a church, right? There it is right there. So I love that. Thank you, Love Witch, for
It
showing that.
was sitting face up at like the bottom of my desk. I've been staring at it all day.
Oh, you're not gonna be doing that for every card I show, just for
Well,
this
we'll
one.
see. I mean, what's the next card you have there?
Next card I have is Eight of Cups, so you can get prepared for that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Three of Pentacles is about harmony. And if you look at this image, it's Alice when she was taking care of the Duchess's pig, like the baby pig. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of loving that. But this is like she was kind of like overwhelmed with the pig, but she was still like the Duchess was kind of being mean or neglectful of the pig. I mean, I'm remembering back, I haven't read the book in a while, but like she was being mean and neglectful of the pig. And Alice was like actually taking care of that pig, creating harmony, creating peace, and I'm really showing love, right? So with the Three of Oysters, in this case, Three of Pentacles, I think that one of the things that you can expect is harmony, right? It's working together like a well-oiled machine. So while you are new at this job, while this is a very new thing that you are delving into, you're actually going to fit into the culture, and you're going to find friendships and people that you work really well with. So this is a great card to sort of foresee that up ahead if this is a new job and you're, still figuring out, you're a new person, you don't know anybody, who do I sit with at lunch, all that thing that when we're the new kid in school, right? But I see you really working very harmoniously. And so yes, you may feel like you've been given this pig in your arms, like, oh my God, what do I do with this thing? I mean, that's what I remember. Alice is kind of like trying her best, but I do see it settling down into this very harmonious situation. And I also think that in the situation, you are doing a better job than you think you are. That's another thing. Like the
Mhm.
Duchess is neglecting the pig, and Alice is taking care of the pig. So I think one of the things, at a new job, we're very worried about, like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing? I think you're doing better than the expectation or better than they were hoping, and that's a great thing to see. Um, Lastly, we have the Eight of Cups, which is the Eight of Hats. And this is the Mad Hatter running off to go find his ninth hat. I was the Mad Hatter one year for Halloween. Did you ever see that picture of me as the
I
Mad
have,
Hatter?
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a fun costume. So Mad Hatter rushing off to go get his ninth hat. So when we think about like the order of the cards, the Nine of Cups or the Nine of Hats in this situation is total satisfaction. So this is like telling you there's just one element that needs to come in that's going to bring satisfaction. It may be with the job, right? But it may be some other aspect of your life where you're like, oh, my life would be perfect if it were just this one thing. Or this situation would be perfect. I just need this one thing, right? There's just one element that isn't making it perfect, right? So the message of the Eight of Hats is to go out and find that thing. You need to take action. You need to go and make it happen for yourself. So sometimes we have the expectation, like, I think I wish that somebody would come in and be the hero and fix this thing. Well, guess who the hero is? It's you. You get to go out and you get to fix it, or you get to make it perfect. We cannot expect other people to fix it for us. We have to fix it. That's the message of this card. So, to get to that place of total satisfaction, I love this reading because it's got lots of really good things for you in terms of like satisfaction and harmony and being capable, getting money. Like, I feel like that, I mean, there's lots of good things. So, yeah, really good, Leslie. Thank you so much for um, that question. Now, Love Witch is going to have something for you.
Yeah, could you actually hold those 2 oyster cards back up if you still have
Oops.
them, or did you already put
Oops.
them
I
away?
can find him again.
I just wanted to show them because I feel like this card really combines both of them. It's this card that's called Embrace, and I feel like the flowers here reminded me of the flowers in that Ace of Pentacles, and
Yeah.
then the embrace, just like Alice is doing with that pig.
Yeah.
So since those both relate to money or that job, I think this is saying embrace those changes, really lean into this job, and get excited about it. And also like take your flowers, like congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, and be proud of the work that you're doing, and of the like accomplishments that you've made. Now is a time to really be congratulating yourself. So congratulations from me to you too.
Yeah. I'm going to say something about that. When you said that, I got a really strong ping that it's like that is can be really, really magical.
Hmm.
When you tell yourself you did a good job, when you're waiting for some like bosses, and not, oh, bosses are not always seeing what you're doing, or they may be, I don't know, just not having the opportunity to thank you or to do that. So tell yourself what a good job you did. It's really magical to do that because that will start to, again, be the change in the world you want to see. If you want
Yeah.
people to appreciate you, appreciate yourself first, right? I will sometimes go like when I, I didn't do it this week, but when I do something and then later in time, I'm appreciating the thing that I did, like, because I did something that made my life easier later, I'll be like, "Thank you, me of the past, for doing
Mhm.
that thing." Right now, I'm swearing at me at the past. I'm not thankful. If you've
Well,
been
that's something I was gonna point out is, like, we're really good at doing this, with bad things, right? Like, we love
Yeah.
to beat ourselves up when we fall short, but we're not as good at congratulating ourselves when we do well.
Yeah.
And I think, the world or bosses or whatever, not my boss, I have the perfect boss, but other people's bosses are a lot better at pointing out when we make mistakes than when we do good too, right? So we're conditioned to think that way. And so whenever there's something that we're conditioned to do like that, I like to think of doing the opposite as a magical act of rebellion. So, that's being the change you want to see, right? Like start acting in the ways that you don't see so that there's some of it existing in the world. And then that energy is going to multiply.
Yeah. What I'm talking about, that secret coded message is, "Oh, I did something I should have been fired for, instead I got this promotion and I love
Oh
the
my
new
gosh, I
job."
love
That's
that.
awesome.
Best case scenario.
Well, like what we're secretly talking in code about is the fact that I kind of did this weird thing with my website. Now it's broken and I can't fix it, and I'm paying people to try and fix it, and it's making it worse. And it's like, oh my god! But what it has motivated me to do is make a new website on a new platform, which I've been wanting to do for a while anyway. So I say thank you to me of the past for
Yeah,
breaking the website. So it
exactly.
motivated me to make the new website, and I'm going like
Mhm.
really fast because I'm like, I got to get this done. So I actually do really, really well when there's a time pressure thing. It makes me very, very productive. I don't freeze. I get into like super activated, motivated mode. So maybe that's what I needed. So I could say
Yeah.
thank you to me of the past with a little side eye because it's really making me crazy in the meantime, but it'll
Well,
ultimately be a good thing.
yeah, you've wanted a new website since I've known you, and now since the last time I spoke to you 24 hours ago, you have one. So
I
you just have to
I did
finish
the first page of it at
it.
least, and I did some
Yeah, you're
things,
on your
but
way.
yeah, yeah, I'm starting to put it together, and I think with your help and, we'll get it up pretty quickly, but, oh my gosh, I'm just setting up everything so you can pop it in, and I'll show you how afterwards, maybe we need to have a meeting, or we could do it tomorrow if you're tired, we can talk about it. Um, well, thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you so, so much for the donation. You are supporting a whole senior. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much. We're doing Tarot for Kindness. We're doing tarot readings, $10 per card. If you'd like to have a tarot reading from us, tarot reading from me, oracle card reading from the Love Witch with the Poesis deck, you can make a donation through PayPal or Venmo, or Super Chat if you're on YouTube, and we can do a reading for you. And 100% of the proceeds will go to feed seniors in Ukraine through our partners, Subotin Harbor, who buy groceries and deliver those groceries to these needy seniors in war zone, awful war zone. Universal Soul Goddess, thank you so much. So Universal Soul Goddess made a donation of $20, and that's a 2-card reading plus a general reading. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, you don't even have to have a question. You can just do a general reading. I love those too. I'm not afraid of a general reading. As you can see from Leslie's comments, we were right on the money with that general reading. So yes, so this is wonderful. All right, Universal Soul Goddess. Here we go. I'm kind of enjoying like playing with these decks that I don't normally use in a reading too.
It's
It's
fun, right?
fun. Yeah,
I
it's
have I know how big your tarot deck collection is because 'cause I've seen it, but I have, like, dozens of decks just sitting around my house that collect dust, and once I finally start, like, breaking them out and working with new ones, I'm like, "Why don't I do this every
yeah,
day?" We
I
have
know.
so many opportunities for it, right? Like, we sit around reading all day.
I'm gonna say something, Love Witch. You saw part of my tarot collection. I have bins in the
I know
shed.
there's more in the garage, yeah.
Yes. Oh my god, it's a little out of control.
If you ever
But
need to
you
get rid
know
of
what?
any.
I mean, I get given decks. I see a deck that's like super juicy to me, or I want to explore. I mean, I can't help myself. I'm a tarot reader and a tarot writer, so I can write it off on my taxes at least. But alrighty. So,
It's a great thing
I
to
love
keep
it.
in
Oh my
mind.
gosh, look at this. Is so cool. All right. Big, powerful cards for you, Universal Soul Goddess. General reading. This is a lovely time for you. There's a big message, like big spiritual messages. You've got 2 major arcana cards of your 2 cards. That means big, right? These are big topics. This is not the mundane stuff. This is the big spiritual stuff. So, the first card we have for you is the Sun card. Sun card shows Humpty Dumpty up on that wall with the little flag on the garden wall, right? Humpty Dumpty up there. The Sun card represents this idea of blessings and happiness and carefree energy and empowerment, right? You think about the sun. The sun is really the most powerful celestial body in our sky, in the sense that, have how it affects us, right? If it's a cloudy day, it affects us much more than if it's a cloudy night. We're not going to really, so we don't see the moon, right? It's not, but a cloudy day, the sun, the days being shorter affects the weather, affects the temperatures, it affects everything. So this idea that the sun is quite powerful. This is a card of lots of energy. Um it's a very kind of like, hi, I'm here kind of energy with the sun card as well. So Humpty Dumpty in Alice in Wonderland, this is the Alice in Wonderland tarot, or it's the Wonderland tarot. Um, Humpty Dumpty is a character that Alice encounters, and Humpty Dumpty is kind of sassy with her. I mean, all the characters are sassy with her. Once we really get down to it, they're all pretty sassy. But Humpty Dumpty represents this kind of quality of like, I'm going to do it myself. And this kind of, I mean, there's a little bit almost like the child on the horse in the sun card energy, like carefree, right? She knows Humpty Dumpty's going to fall off the wall and it's going to be a disaster, but he doesn't know that. Now, I don't get disaster energy out of this card in any way, shape, or form. I get carefree energy out of this card. Sun card is beautiful, benevolent. It's about health and happiness and carefree energy. So I think this is a great time for you, Universal Soul Goddess, to really be in your like go out and play energy. And I mean, go out and play, go out and hang out with friends, go out and have experiences, just be visible. The sun is about visibility. And so be visible, get out there. Now, there's another card that shows up next, which is the Emperor card, which has a Cheshire Cat on it. Cheshire Cat is such an emperor energy. Like, he's totally in charge and confusing to Alice, and also disappears and reappears and does whatever. I think of him as being
Classic cat.
yeah, right. Total classic cat. So as I look at these two energies of the sun and the emperor, it's really about stepping up into your power in very visible ways, right? How can I feel more empowered and be more empowered in the world, show the world that I'm more empowered. Empowerment, it doesn't mean power over. We had a wild discussion when I was at the reader studio about what power means. And most of the table was like, power is something that really comes from within. And one person at the table was like, power is something that's given to you by people with more power. And we're like, no, you can make your own power. You don't need someone to give you authority. You can have authority, right? You can be the authority. You can you can crown yourself the emperor or the empress. It's not up necessary. Yes, we can get it from somewhere else, but it doesn't. The essence of power is empowerment, which is to embody power, right? So I think of this energy of like, how big do you want to go? Universal Soul Goddess, what is it that is your big dream? What is it that you want to be when you grow up? What is it that you want to, I'm not saying that you're not grown up, but we all say, what do we want to be when we grow up? But what is it that you would like to grow into and expand into and be visible in that way? For introverts, me saying visibility may not be the most delightful concept. It doesn't mean you have to be like an entertainer. It can mean just being that, showing up as that, being empowered. So these are two big, beautiful cards that are really about such magical energy of self-empowerment and visibility and being seen in the world and being seen for who you are, So let's step up into that energy right now. Let's do that. If you need a boost magically, Supreme Confidence Oil is what this is all about, like that confidence level. And I love it for you. This is very, very powerful, very big move, very big step for you. So love that.
That's great. I love that so much. Let's see. We have an update. Oh, she says it was 4 years yesterday since mom passed, and I dreamed she was telling me, get out of this house and enjoy your life, my little girl.
Oh my
Yeah, you
gosh.
got to get out there. You got to live. I got this card that says expand.
Oh my
So fits right in with what you were saying. And, the sun being about our happiness, the emperor being about our power, expand both of those. Get a little bit happier each day, step into your power a little bit more each day. Something I'm always telling my clients is that like huge change is hard to come by, but incremental change is really easy to find. So do just something little each day to expand your energy and to expand your happiness and your power, because you have this energy of expansion right now. And your mom wants it for you, and your inner child wants it for you, your soul wants it for you. So it's time to step into it and to really live life to its fullest and to expand the things you're doing. And this could be as simple as like taking a walk around the block every day. Like if that's an expansion from where you're at right now, then start there. But whatever it is, like be proud of yourself for making those steps and start making them now.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's beautiful. And the walk is a great step. You know what I've been
Mhm.
doing on my walks now that really gets me to want to go out and walk? I take a pocket full of peanuts in the shell with me, and I feed the crows on my walk
Nice.
and the squirrels. There's lots of squirrels, crazy squirrels. But I just, like, feed the animals on my walk to, like, like, my fantasy is that they will recognize me if I keep continually doing it, and then I'll be a friend to the crows, They'll see me as a friend, and that's what I wanna do. I wanna make a new friend. It doesn't have to be a person friend, it could be a crow friend, it could be animal friend, right? So, yeah,
Have you
getting out there.
have you ever seen the people in New York that are just, like, covered in pigeons? I just don't want you to turn into that. Like,
With
not there's anything
crows?
wrong with that, but it's just a little scary to me, like, I don't want you to get
Listen, if
fleas
I
or
were covered with crows, I would be the goddess of the world, baby.
Okay, then I do want that for you.
I mean, come on. That would be the most amazing thing ever. I don't know if a crow I mean, maybe. I don't even have that ambition to, like, get a crow to eat out of my hand. I just want them to recognize me as a good person. That's all I
Mhm.
want.
Yeah.
Approval. I want crow approval.
I used to be able to walk to Central Park from my old house, and every time I would do it, I would pass this lady with, like, at least 75 pigeons stacked up on her,
Oh
and
my
just, like, you couldn't even see a person under it, and I don't know how she achieved this or how she convinced the pigeons to do that, but like clockwork, every time I'd walk by, like,
Oh my
52nd Street, there she
gosh.
is.
I mean, she probably feeds them bird seed. Maybe she's got bird seed, like peanut butter and
Maybe she
spread all
rolls
over
in it,
her.
yeah.
She puts bird seed
Maybe
all
it's
over her.
performance art, I don't know, I never thought about it.
I could do that right now. All I have to do
Yeah.
is just cover myself in peanut butter and bird seed and go out there in the world. All the birds would
Best
flock
of
to
luck
me.
with that.
Oh my god. Well, it would get the chewing gum out of my hair, so,
Mhm. Might get some more stuff in your hair, but
I know. Bird poop, ew.
it's
No,
good
I'd love
luck.
to have the crows on me. Oh my gosh, I would just be like the most that would be amazing. I mean, just to have one crow sit on me, I think would be
Yeah,
amazing,
1
but
sounds great, yeah. 2 even, but do you really want 75?
I don't know. I'm kind of into that whole immersing yourself in animal things. I don't know. I would work up to it. I wouldn't be afraid of it. Yes, Leslie says, "I'm literally seeing that picture of Madame Pamita and her Raven outfit she posted earlier." Yeah, she is a friend to crows. I am. I want their approval, that's all. But if their approval includes 75 of them sitting on me, then so be
Hey,
it.
that's a lot of approval, yeah.
There's another I mean, pigeons sound a little gross, but there's another thing that I was doing research and I found this thing that bee buzzing of a hive is a frequency that is extremely healing, right? So when you like, if you're a beekeeper and you hang out at your hive, you can benefit from that sound healing. It's sound healing, right? Well, some smart people in the UK and I maybe somewhere in the US too have built hives underneath these cabins so you can stay in the cabin and hear
Oh,
the
wow.
bees in the hive underneath your cabin as you sleep or you get services. I think they have spa services and things like that there. I'm like, oh my god, I would totally do that. I'm obsessed with bees too, so I would totally do that in a minute. So
There's recordings of, like, bee noises online, and sometimes I listen to them when I'm setting up my candles,
oh,
so I can tap into, like, that bee energy and the beeswax, right? And just, like, I don't know, the longer you listen to that humming or buzzing, the more you're gonna be able to feel a very tangible energy in it, even if it's just a recording.
yeah.
So being able to, like, I don't know, like, spot energy like that, I find really helpful when I'm trying to make some magic.
Yeah. Frog croaking, we talked about that
Mhm.
before, you and
Yep.
I talked about that before, frog croaking recordings, cricket recordings, all those nature sound recordings, I love them. I very much love them. All right, so, next we have, Benny, and then we have Mel. Thank you so much, Universal Soul Goddess. Thank you so much, Leslie. Benny is having a 1-card reading, and then Mel's having a 10-card reading.
Thanks so much
Um
to everyone.
Thank you so much. So I want to pull a card pulled for my friend Greg. Is there a question for Greg, or we're just like general for Greg? Up to you. If you have a question, Benny, you can drop that into the chat if there's a question about Greg. Otherwise, we'll just do a general for Greg. Okay. All righty. What do we have for Greg? Ah, okay. 4 of Swords, 4 flamingos. In this deck, we're with the Wonderland Tarot. So it's all Alice in Wonderland themed. And flamingos are swords. And we have, oh, the little sleeping king, the white king, or the red
Mhm.
king, I guess he's the red king. Why does he have a white nightcap on? Red king sleeping there. So we have the 4 of, which makes sense. The 4 of Swords is a card about rest. So friend Greg needs rest, recuperation, relaxation, downtime. This is going to be restorative time, right? This is what's needed right now. Restoration. So this is about, like, it's actually can be like, I think of this can be so many things. Like it can be having a spa day, or just taking a nap, or not going all the time, but just having some downtime. Maybe you're reading a book or just relaxing at home. But just some cozy downtime is necessary. What that offers and what that opens up, and it's kind of reflected in this card. We know in that story, the king is dreaming, and we can think about, the idea of dreaming as like sleep dreaming, but we can also think about dreaming like dreaming up your next big adventure, or dreaming what creative project you'd like to do. So, there's a cycle. I wonder if your friend Greg is a creative person, because I'm just really getting this hit about the cycle of creativity. You cannot be creative 100% of the time. It's just not possible. You have to have some time for, like, there's an old saying, wool gathering, right? Wool gathering is just like going for a walk and just thinking, or doing, lying in a hammock, or, meditating, doing something that is just very slow and restorative, and that will open up so many creative ideas, so many insights, so much. I mean, one of my favorite, weirdly, my favorite place to do vision work is when I have an acupuncture appointment, which I haven't had in a long
Mm.
time. But having an acupuncture appointment will open up like all of these. Like for me, like I go into like vision journeys, and then I have ideas about things. It's just a really restorative thing. I mean, obviously acupuncture is restorative. So, what we're getting here, the message for Greg is restoration, that this is about taking some downtime, doing something that's like relaxing and restorative, so that you can dream up your next step. So, you can dream up the thing that you want to take that leap into, or where you're going to go next. But it's part of the cycle, it's part of the life cycle. We all have to sleep at night. If we don't sleep, we're a mess the next day, right? So we need to have this in our daily cycle for sure, but we also need to have bigger cycles of rest. And it's not being not productive. We are such a culture in the States of like go, 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 do, produce, produce, produce. But that creates crazy mental health issues and burnout and all kinds of stuff. And we need to honor that. In the old days, wintertime was that time, right? Winter, you weren't out in the fields planting, you were doing other things in the home, including some rest and relaxation. So think about that, for your friend. Transmit that message to your friend and let them know that some rest and restoration will produce great ideas, great dreams, visions for the future, and all of that good stuff.
I pulled this card that's called Love. So I think Greg needs a little bit of love right now. And I think it's important to remember that, how someone needs love is different in each situation, right? So, like, sometimes we need space, and giving someone that space is showing them love. Sometimes we need a shoulder to cry on, and providing that shoulder is love. So, figuring out what kind of love Greg needs right now, and then being one of the people who provides it is going to be super useful right now. And based on that card, sounds like he needs some rest, some restorative stuff. So even just sending healing vibes his way, loving healing vibes is going to be really helpful. And yeah, I love this idea too of like infusing love into more things than romance, right? So I think Greg needs to fall in love with his friends, fall in love with his plants, fall in love with his pets, fall in love with his surroundings, and that's going to make his life a lot better. I know for me, um, I used to really struggle with the idea of love, and I was like, I don't want love. I think love is like an unnecessary hassle. This was the old me talking. And then I started to infuse all these other things in my life with love. And all of a sudden I realized, like, oh, love is really beautiful. Why would I want to reject that in any form, right? As long as it's healthy. So yeah, the more we can surround ourselves with love, the better we can receive it, I think is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing too that really dovetails with the four of flamingos, four of swords, which is the idea that that productivity is also about relationships. Like a relationship
Mhm.
needs some time of, being apart and then, or, somebody having downtime from the relationship. And then when you come back together, it's so much better, when you have that little bit of space to just be on your own and do your own thing. So it isn't a permanent state. It's not an ending. If one of your concerns is like, oh, this person in my life is not is in a kind of restorative place right now, they'll come back after the restoration. So it's not a ending of anything. It's not that. It's just that we have they're needing this time. They're needing a little bit of downtime from whatever. It could be job, it could be relationship, it could be anything. So yeah.
Now I want acupuncture. So good. Have
No,
you
me
ever done
too.
tapping?
Tapping?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've done tapping on myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it some, and I was like, "I don't feel anything from this," and then a few weeks ago, I did this tapping session, I was like, "Oh, I feel all kinds of stuff from this." So now I'm
Oh.
getting certified to, be a tapping facilitator.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, you're gonna have
I'm
to teach
halfway
me
done.
so I can do it
Yeah.
better. Because I did it
Mhm.
and I was like, "Yeah, it's all right."
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
totally
mostly I
same.
mostly my tapping consists of like, "What was that thing I was thinking about just a second ago?" And I was like,
That can be really helpful, right?
it it snaps me out of whatever, like, dreamy place my head is focus. My spell for myself is hocus pocus, time to focus, girl. Come on, girl, you got this. You what were we just thinking about? What are we supposed to be doing right now? Oh my gosh. All right. Mel. Oh my gosh, Mel, you are so wonderful and generous. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much, Mel. We love you.
We do love you, Mel. You're so consistent, so wonderful, and so generous. And you're just, I mean, the love, you guys, all of you guys, Mel, Leslie, Universal Soul Goddess, Benny, all of you guys. This is love in action, being, kind and showing kindness to people that you may never meet. This is like such a good thing to be doing. So, all right. So your questions are, we're going to do 10. So, are there more questions after this, Love Witch, or just these five?
Yeah, there's,
Okay.
9 questions.
Okay, so we'll do the first 5 and then we'll do the next 4. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Okay. Okay, let's see. First 5 we'll do. Okay. So first question, is Monday event canceled? And Night of Peppermills, which is Night of Wands, it looks like they're gonna do the event, but that it will be somehow you can tap in remotely or it can be remote. One of the ideas of the Night of Wands is that the Night of Wands is out running around. So I kind of get a sense that it doesn't have to be an in-person thing. Is that possible? Maybe that you could do, log in remotely or, Zoom in or something like that. But it does look like it's going to happen, but it just will be something that you can possibly do remotely, not sense, but they're kind of determined to do it. One of the things about nights is they're determined, right? So I think they're determined to have the meeting on Monday. Your second card, will they tell the cleaner to never come back Monday? Will they tell the Queen of Swords? That's actually a great card. So this is a card about boundaries. So healthy boundaries, logical boundaries, good boundaries, and communicating those boundaries. So yes, they will tell the cleaner to never come back on Monday. This is like good boundaries. So I think if you are wanting that, also you expressing that to them, and they'll express that to the cleaners. And that boundary will be established. But it may be if you're just hoping that it will happen on its own, I would say this is a message to you to take the initiative and express that idea. And then they will express that idea to the cleaner so that they won't come back. But this is a great card for having healthy boundaries, communicating those boundaries, really doing that amazing. Yes, that's a good one for that. All right, is the cleaner going to send another video? Well, Ace, these questions are always so fascinating to me because I have no idea what you're talking about. Which knows?
I love it because I know all about it. I know
You know
Mel
all
so
about it
well.
because you do readings for Mel. I have never done a reading. I don't know if I've done a reading for Mel, but I don't know about any of this stuff. That's for sure. So is the cleaner going to send another video? The Ace of Peppermills is a yes. Like this is whenever I see an ace show up, this is Ace of Wands. That's a yes. So they're going to send another video. If you don't, again, going back to that Queen of Swords, if you don't want another video or you do want another video, whatever it is that you want, you need to express that and have those good boundaries. So if there's a do not want, then you need to say no. If there's a you must, then you have to communicate that. Step up into your power a little bit about this, I think, this whole situation. But they are going to send another video, or they're planning on it or doing something like that. All right. Is Bill going out of town soon? Night of Flamingos, which is Knight of Swords. So this is a card about, yes, quick and gone and coming back. So is Bill going out of town? This is a yes. It's going to happen soon, but it'll be for, a few days and then coming back. It isn't a long time that they're gone. And the fifth card in this grouping is the Two of Swords. Is it going to rain soon? Interesting. Two of Swords is a card about crossroads energy. So if it means it really is a decision-making process, right? So the weather has not decided yet whether it's going to rain is how I'm interpreting that. We have like the Two of Swords, or Two of Flamingos. He's got those flamingos. That caterpillar has those flamingos crossed across his chest. It's like a crossroads. Do I go this way? Do I go that way? This card is always, there's a lot of meaning for this card, but it is decision making, right? So what that is telling me is that the weather has not yet decided if it's going to rain. It has not yet been decided. It's possible, but it's not decided. There's not a definitive answer yet, which probably indicates that it's not going to rain for the next few days, but it may be beyond that it will. Yeah.
It's so funny because that's like up in the air energy, right? And whereas
Yeah.
rain, but up in the air.
Yeah, exactly. Air energy is the swords and the flamingos, right? All right. Will the inspector come soon and put closed sign up. Will we'll start up career again soon. Will I start up career again soon? Do you know what that's about?
Um,
We'll
yeah, I think
start up.
she's wondering if she's going to start her career up again soon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And will and what good things will be happening soon? And will it be a calm week or will people show up this week? Okay. All right. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, I'm shuffling again. Okay, well, it's like two readings in one. Two readings. So you can pull two. Do you want to pull a card now and then we'll do the second set?
Yeah, cool. Good idea. I'd already pulled this card, so I'll show this one first. This card says body. And so I think this is about connecting to your body this week, and also about your ability to heal. I know, you struggle with some pain in some areas. And so I think this says that by really focusing on those areas and doing a little bit of like energetic healing in some way, you can really overcome that pain. Obviously, we don't want to rely just on magic or energy to like overcome our health issues, but this is saying that sending some energy toward it is going to be highly beneficial. This person is also sitting calm, still in a like meditation pose. So I think this says just spending time grounding and connecting to your body is going to help not only with your pain, but with anxiety, with worry, with decision making, with anything you struggle with. This becoming still and quieting your mind is going to be super helpful. So I know that you know how to do that, and this can be a challenge, right? Like, especially if we have busy lives or there's a lot of people that want a lot of stuff from us, but just finding ways to slow down, even if it's just for a few minutes. I'm getting a message in my head that says, get out of your own way. So get out of your way. And that's what I feel like I'm doing when I calm my mind. My crazy ADD brain gets in my way all the time because it wants me to go over here and then over here and over there. But when I just calm down, all of a sudden I realize which way I should go. So listen to that quiet voice in your head.
I'll also too show that card again because it kind of looks to me like we were talking about active. I know it's bones, but it looks like it looks like one of those Alex. What's that artist that does all those paintings with like the weird energy lines and people, the meridians and everything?
Mm,
Um, it looks a little bit like that. And to me, that we were talking, and there's the chakras there,
yeah.
right? And
Hmm.
so it could also be working with energy points, like doing acupuncture, like we were talking about. That if that is something that you like to do, or restorative things that you like to do for your body, take a bath,
Hmm. Yeah.
lie down and take a nap or whatever. You can do those things too, I think. That's
Yeah,
right.
and I think too, like when there's a blockage or we're struggling with like a meridian in our body, it can affect all kinds of areas. I mean, this is true like with anything within our body, right? Like if you have a vitamin deficiency, it can affect a dozen different things, and it would maybe be hard to trace them all back. But then once you figure it out, it's like this domino effect. So same thing here. There's a lot of stuff that maybe seems really unrelated, but once you get aligned and do some healing with your chakras, with your energy, everything's going to fall into place.
Yeah, that's lovely. All right, so now we're doing 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. All right. Um, okay, so here's what I'm seeing for the first question. Will and the inspector come soon and put a close sign up? This really feels like an inspector. That's the Duchess
Mm.
from the deck. She's kind of a bossy bee, right? She's really bossy and unpleasant, right? And bossing Alice around. So it really feels like, and the oyster represents that gold coin. So it does really feel to me like the inspector is going to come soon and put the close sign up. It does really feel like that because that is a bossy person. And there may be, interestingly, this brings to mind something. I was talking with someone about restaurants and how they grade. Was it you I was talking about? No. how they grade the restaurants?
I don't think so, but I could go on for hours about that.
Well,
So
somebody
maybe.
was saying how what a racket it was when the inspectors come around. Oh, maybe it was Kelly at work because she's worked in bars. That's, I think, who it was.
Oh, actually, I
Um,
think it was here last week on Terror for Kindness,
were
maybe.
we?
Yeah, she mentioned something about, I know we were talking about bartending last week, and I feel like maybe inspectors came
Oh
up.
my gosh,
So
that we
maybe.
talk about bartending all the time because I find it fascinating. She's been a bartender. She was a bartender for many years. So one of the things that she was saying is like they'll come to make an inspection and then they'll give a check, like you didn't do a good job, you need to fix this thing. But they'll come back if you want them to come back. Let's say they give you your restaurant a B. We have ABC, and then number grades here for our restaurants, right? So they'll say, okay, you can have that C grade, or if you want us to come back next week and see that you fix the thing, you have to pay us
Oh,
like to
wow.
expedite our visit. So it then becomes this kind of racket where they're making money. And I feel like this is that person that's kind of like shutting things down so that they can get a coin, right? So they can do so it does feel a little shady, but it does feel like there's a reason, like they shut it down just to get that extra money. That's what it really, really came forward for me in that, she is holding a gold coin. So, um, all right, next question is, will career start up again soon? Empress energy. Oh my gosh, this could not be better. This is such good energy. So this is the little mom sheep that is knitting. I don't remember too much about her in the stories. I think she's in Through the Looking Glass. Um, so the sheep that's knitting, this is Empress, is like this lovely energy of like very crafty, I mean homebody crafty, doing something that's pleasurable, like relaxed and fun. So your career is really a I mean, the Empress card is about you really stepping into that role of your career and having that start up again and really having it flow very easily. One of the things, I mean, she's sitting in a little boat in this picture. So I think of that being like flow.
Mm.
But also in the Empress card, the traditional Empress card, the Empress is like all the things are growing around her. It's like verdant and abundant. And she's not really doing anything. She's not farming, right? She's just sitting there and it's happening around her. So I think your career starting up again is really on the horizon. It's really empowering for you and it will feel really effortless. I think you just probably have to push that boat off the dock, just push it off from the shore with you in it. And then you're going to get there with this really wonderful career that you love so much and that's so easy for you and is abundant for you and all of those things. So I would really say, this is such a beautiful card. Um, when I look at so I'm going to look at 8 and 9 as your will and what good things will be happening soon, and 10 as will it be a calm week. Because what I see here is 8 and 9 are like you said things. And since we have 10 cards, I might as well say the things, right? So we have the 3 of flamingos, which is the 3 of swords, and we have the 8 of cups. So this is a message, a really powerful message for you that whatever is hurting you or uh, making you feel a certain way or feeling painful to you, if you get up and look for the solution, which is that ninth cup that we're looking for, you're going to get to it. So this is like the emotional pain that we're feeling. It's such an interesting thing because we can feel like this person is doing this to me and that's why I feel this way, right? When we do that, the power is not within us. That person being mean to me online, let's say, I'm just going to throw an example. Like that person being mean on my comments makes me feel bad, right? But how I feel is actually something I can control to a certain degree. Meaning, what do I need to do logically? What do I need to do to remove the thoughts, ideas, or beliefs that are causing me pain? I'm just going to give an example that's like a super simple example, talking about bullies online, right? I'll get into it with those dumb bullies. I will sometimes.
I know.
You know,
I get the
right?
notifications.
Oh my gosh. You get the note out, that's right. You see that. So anyway, so somebody will be a bully and someone will be crappy online and say something like usually what it is like something what I really get incensed about is somebody going like, "Oh, Ukraine, we shouldn't support Ukraine." That makes me super mad, right? Because they're not, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the not supporting Ukraine is a terrible idea for numerous reasons." Primarily for me, it's like these people that are my people there that are suffering because some idiot is bombing their country and sending in soldiers, right? And just destroying the country. Wherever, the Russian soldiers, they just carpet bomb everything. It's just like rubble. I mean, it's so disgusting, right? So somebody goes like, "Oh, Ukraine doesn't deserve our support, blah blah blah," and then I get really mad. Okay, that anger that I have will come out and like, "You idiot, you don't know what you're talking about," or whatever, right? I'll say something, and then I'm mad, and then I'm super mad, and I'm in an upset mood, and I'm like depressed and mad and everything. But then I go, "Wait a minute, what if that's just a bot, a stupid
Mm,
bot that is like Russia's putting out bots everywhere all the time?" I'm like, "Why am I getting mad about it? It's a freaking bot. Block, report, and delete, right? Report, delete, block. That's all I have to do. That's all I have to do." So it's like that inside job of recognition of what is causing me pain can also be removed by me. So
mhm,
we can remove our own source of pain, right? Another example is maybe we have a broken heart over someone, right? Someone that we loved and cared about, and then they didn't give us the love we deserve. I can feel brokenhearted and I can even feel like I wasn't a good enough person for them to love me. But I could also go, "Hey, they are not giving me the love that I deserve, and I deserve to have better than this." And that can shift the energy. So I would really encourage you, Mel, to like look at where your emotional pain points are and to take that charge of it, like the Eight of Cups, to go out and find the solution to bring that satisfaction. You don't have to feel that pain. It is in your own hands to make change. And the change may be taking action, the change may be changing your mindset, but these two really go together. So these things that are good things are opportunities for you to a make your life more satisfactory. That's what the Nine of Cups is about going out and making your life satisfying to you. And the power is within your hands. But when we feel like it's that person making me feel pain, we are not acknowledging that we actually can control the situation, right? We have more control than we realize. We have more control than we realize. So, will it be calm week or will people show up this week? This is the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups or Nine of Hats in this case. Oh, look at there's a raven, a crow. I love it. Um, this is about a totally satisfactory experience. So whatever you are wanting, no people coming in, calm week. This is absolutely that satisfactory week. So I think of this week being actually a very good week for you, maybe apart from the meeting you have to attend, but you can attend remotely. So, and if you attend remotely, you can do like my kids do, play a video game and look like you're being present. When COVID school was happening, they were in city college, my son was like, "I just play a video game and I go off, take a hit, and then play a video game and pretend like I'm paying attention." He graduated with honors, so I have no complaints. No complaints about that. Maybe that's the secret sauce, playing a video game during class, multitasking.
Yeah,
Mel,
I
thank
think
you so
taking the
much.
pressure off is a really magical act, so maybe that did the trick for him. Maybe that's how he got into honors, is by not having all that pressure and stress.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, not overthinking it. But anyway,
Mhm.
Mel, thank you so much, Mel. You are so kind and so generous. And my wish for you is that you have a beautiful, smooth week that is everything that you want it to be.
Yeah, thank
Yes, love
you.
the raven. Aw.
Yeah,
Well, look, we got a little bit more. I love which is another card for you.
And, you know, Raven wouldn't sit still like that if things were loud and dramatic, right? Like, that
Mhm.
seems just on its own a symbol of peace to me.
Yeah.
Also, as you're talking about that, Three of Swords and about, you know, there's like a solution out there and maybe it's as simple as a mindset shift. That's totally true. And for me, I think sometimes like when something is upsetting me or is really like making me super emotional, what I like to tell myself is I have this magical phrase: this isn't worth getting upset over. I'm not going to allow them to get me upset. And as a Scorpio, that I'm not going to allow them to get me upset is really useful, because I'm like, well, if there's anything that you can't do to a Scorpio, it's tell them they can't do something, right? So if someone's trying to get me upset, to not get upset about it is the best way to get back at them. So if nothing else, let spite be your motivator to let things uh, roll off your back or whatever that saying
Yeah.
is.
You know, and on saying that, I was super upset and freaked out about something. And Honoreo said to me, "Hey, I think my folks always say to me is, are you going to care about this in 5 years?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
absolutely not. I
better
won't even
not.
remember it. So
That's so true. I
I
love
thought
your
that was such
necklace, by the
beautiful
way. I just
wisdom.
saw that.
What?
Can we see your necklace? It looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, gorgeous.
Not fun.
Well, here's the
I
other card
dressed
I
up
pulled.
today because I went out to lunch. Well, I went out to his house. I brought him lunch because he's working at home, and I said, "Well, you got to have something for your birthday, so I'll bring you a lunch and cake and I brought him a balloon." So I dressed up and put on
Oh.
makeup and tried to look like not like a schlub when I visited my boyfriend for his birthday. So
I hope you had a wonderful birthday.
yeah,
I know I would if you showed up to my house looking like
cake
that,
and
especially
food
with food.
with Jamaican food. Oh my
There we
gosh, it was
go.
so good, Jamaican food.
Well, speaking of, I pulled this card from Mel that's called Harvest. And I pulled this while you were talking about that Empress card, and I really
Oh,
think this is about your career. I think this is a message that sometimes we have been doing the work without realizing we're doing the work. And so we've been allowing for things to fall into place in the future without realizing that's what we were doing. So I think in terms of your career taking off, Mel, it's going to happen and you've already planted those seeds and like it's been growing while you weren't paying attention to it in some way. So it's going to be really easy for you to just like harvest those fruits, pick up that basket and run with it. So yes, your career is going to take off in really easy ways that where the hard work is already behind you, I think.
I love that so much. Oh my gosh. Well, we have a few more minutes. If anybody wants to get a reading, we still we'll hang out for about 5 6 minutes or so. While we're doing that, I'll make a couple of announcements. First of all, while you guys are getting in those last minute requests for a reading, if you are wanting that reading, you can go ahead and make a payment on Venmo. You can do it on Super Chat if you are on YouTube, or you can do it on PayPal, any one of those. And you can make your donation and get a reading today before we wrap it up. But while we're waiting for you guys to get those last minute donations in for a reading, a couple of announcements that are coming up. Number one, this Saturday, if you are in Los Angeles, this is the Spring Witches Market. Twice a year, we hold a market in our parking lot in Canoga Park in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area. It takes place from 12 to 5. It's absolutely free. It's all ages. You can come on down. We have music. We have lots of different vendors. Of course, Parlor Wonders is going to be there, but we have lots of different vendors. Onoreo is going to be doing readings. We have a bunch of other readers. We're going to be having some delicious food there. We will also have some music playing. You get to hang out with us. It is so much fun. People come and they hang out the whole day.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
it's really fun. It's really fun. Yeah, I mean, it's a very social event. It's absolutely free to go. You'll have cute vendors there, and you meet people. It's just a great get together in a very casual way. You can hang out with fellow witches and magic makers, and so I encourage you to do that. If you want the details about it, you can just go to parlorwonders.com. Look at my stupid broken website. But if you scroll down on the homepage, you will see the flyer and the link to look at the other thing. It's not really broken. It's working, but it's ugly because the margins are gone. And it's like we cannot figure out what I did. I know what I did, but we can't figure out how to undo it. So anyway, you can go to the Parlor of Wonders site and find that Spring Witches Market information. Another thing that is happening is this Friday, our new moon spell for Gemini new moon goes on sale, and it is this gorgeous candle. The Pentacle of Protection. So all the air signs this year are getting protection spells. We're doing protection spells. And this really beautiful candle is our protection spell candle for the month of June for Gemini. I love it because, Pentacle energy is ancient, powerful magic. That symbol, we think of it as like a Wiccan symbol. Some people think of it as like a more modern symbol, but only recently has it been even acknowledged as like a pagan symbol publicly. Like Selena Fox did all of the work to make it so that military people could get a pentacle on their gravestone for representing their faith, just like Christians and Jewish people and Muslim people can get their symbols of their faith. If you're pagan or Wiccan, you were SOL. You didn't have any, too bad you didn't get it. But she worked very, very hard to make it so that this could be a symbol. So it's, in that sense, it's like we think of it as a modern symbol, but goes way back, way, way, way back. We see these symbols on knights in medieval times, going back into different cultures as well. That star symbol as being a very, very powerful symbol and a beautiful symbol of protection. So that spell goes on sale on Friday. If you would like the spell kit or the spell kit and workshop, it is only available for 1 week, starting Friday, and it will end a week from Tuesday. And then you will get that in time for our June new moon spell, in time for the new moon. And if you get the workshop, you can join me for a workshop. The spell service, which is where I do a group spell service for people, that is available up until 2 days before 2 days before 2 days before the new moon. So you can get that a little bit longer. It's going to be available. And that's where I do the spell for you, because we don't have to mail it to you, basically. I just sent you a thing about tuxedo cats.
I saw.
Their natural habitat is a gala.
So fancy.
Fundraising gala. Because they're wearing a tuxedo. All right. That's what I didn't mention earlier. The Deluxe Limited Edition Self-Care Magic Kit is available for the month of May. And this is a gorgeous, oh my gosh, this kit is so gorgeous. It's only available in the month of May. It has one thing that we normally have, the self-love oil. Everything else in it is exclusive. Everything. We have self-love bath, we have self-love sachet, we have self-love potion, we have a self-love pocket mojo bag, little charm bag that you can carry with you. And we have that beautiful Gaia Mother Goddess candle as well. Plus you get a surprise deck worth over $25. It could be a tarot deck, it could be an oracle deck, but we'll be putting that in your package. And not only that, each of them comes with a scratcher. The scratchers are all winners. So everybody that is going to get a coupon, but 3 of you are going to get a 1-hour reading with me. And so that is like a really amazing prize. You get this really wonderful prize. So we have prize scratchers, which make it a little bit fun, and all these exclusives. So this has been selling like hotcakes. We've been selling a lot of these. So you want to get one too. And get these exclusives, because they will not be, once this box goes away, everything except for the oil will go away. So it's your exclusive box.
It's one of my favorite oils too. It smells so good, and it's so versatile, and like such a great foundation for like any spell or intention. You really can't go wrong.
Yeah, whether it's like you want love in your life, or you want to have more success in your career, or you want more confidence. Self-love is a great foundation for all of that. So absolutely. It's also very healing. Like if you're feeling, if you're feeling down on yourself in some way, it can be such a healing oil for you to feel like that, not being so mean to yourself. I think we're all kind of mean to ourselves, right? So this is such a beautiful oil to change that. So, yeah. All right. So no more readings tonight?
I don't see anything else in the chat.
Okay. So we had $170 today. Thank you so much, Mel and Benny and Universal Soul Goddess and Leslie. Thank you so much, you guys. You are so wonderful. I'll be sending that off right after this, and then they'll be getting that on this morning, which means they'll be buying those groceries for those seniors. Thank you so much, you guys. Let's see that's it, right? That's it for us. Love
And
what
with
we're
that,
gonna hang out afterwards for a second after we end our stream. Thank
yeah,
you so
sounds
much, you guys. We'll
good.
see you next week at the same time, top of the hour. If you want to join us for the Live Magic Q&A tea party that's right before, all you have to do is be a Spell Squad member, and all you have to do to be a Spell Squad member is sign up at spellsquad.com. And you'll get a free ebook, and you'll get the link to join me live. It's a really, fun hangout. You can ask your questions about magic. It's just a wonderful time we have over there. So thank you so much for joining us here. We'll see you next week, and have a very magical week. Anything you want to say before we sign off?
Um, Oh, if anybody wants to come meditate with me on Wednesday, I'm hosting a weekly meditation session now. At my first one last Wednesday, I had several students show up. We had so much fun. And you get a recording after that you can keep forever. So go to onlinemeditationstudio.com for all the details.
Ah, I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
you can also get the recording of last week's session at Parlor Funders. So head to the media section. You can find it there.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Love Witch, for joining me. We'll see you guys next week. And maybe we can, finagle Honoreo to come before he takes off into the wild
I
blue
hope
yonder.
so.
All right, you guys.